Many of Grid Rivals games are based on a salary cap model. In this model, each player starts the season with a predetermined fantasy budget, which they must utilize to add drivers and constructors to their fantasy team. Each driver and constructor has an associated salary that is based on their statistical likelihood of producing fantasy points. Drivers likely to earn more fantasy points cost more money, and vice versa. In salary cap games, drivers and constructor salaries will fluctuate from race to race based off of their performance at each event, and this fluctuation can be used to your advantage. If you sign a driver to your team who's gone up in salary between the time you sign them and the time they're released, you'll be able to pocket the gain and use it to build a better team in the future. Over the course of a season, this can equate to substantial increases in available budget you have to build your team. But be careful, because the opposite is also true. Releasing a driver who has decreased in salary will result in a deduction in your team's overall value. The most important thing you need to know about driver salaries to avoid confusion is that their movement up or down is not based on race finish position, but rather on their rank at the end of each race based on fantasy points. And because fantasy points are not just awarded for finishing position, sometimes a driver's race position will not correlate directly to their fantasy position. If you ever see a driver's fantasy salary decrease despite the fact that they finished the race in first place, it's because another driver has beat them in fantasy points. This is most likely to happen in leagues that are utilizing overtake and improvement points. If you'd like to learn more about driver salaries, you can view a detailed explanation and example by viewing your league settings.